Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, Empowering Self-Love, Authenticity with the Power of the Mind. How is everybody today? How is everybody today? My name is Renee Christian, and I am your mindset and authenticity coach. How are you? How are you? How are you? I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're having a great day. Let's talk about our video today. So thank you for joining my video today, and this is our topic for today. We're talking about the power of understanding neutrality. This is our topic today, and like I said, I am Renee Christian, your mindset and authenticity coach. So let's talk about what neutrality is. Neutrality is powerful concept that shapes your perception of the world by understanding that nothing has meaning until you give it one. We are giving everything meaning as it happens based on the power of perspective, belief systems, and childhood programming. We can step into our personal power and make better decisions by understanding these concepts. So, guys, this is what I want you to get clear. This is what I want you to really understand. Nothing has a meaning until you, as the observer, give it one. You are observing everything, and you are giving everything meaning as it is happening, as it is unfolding, based on your belief systems, perspective, and childhood programming. So when we learn this, we can empower those things and shape them differently to give things better meaning that serve us to help us make better decisions. I hope this is making sense to you guys. Okay, so let's talk about the link between neutrality and perspective. I want you guys to understand this. Your perspective literally shapes everything. It is created based upon the lens you hold, which is the lens is created by the belief systems, the experiences, the thoughts, the way you identify to the world based on your preconceived programming from 0 to 7 years old. So it's just like a camera. You point the lens at where you want to take the picture. Okay. So you can have one side of a flower that looks beautiful, that looks gorgeous. Then you can have another side that looks like it's dying and wilting. Depending on what angle you take the picture at, the person who looks at the picture later could see the angle where the flower only looks beautiful. It looks amazing, stunning. And then a different angle could show a flower that looks wilted and like it's dying. So the angle is up to you. What we're doing when we're learning about shifting our perspective is we're empowering ourselves to zoom out and create clarity. our perspective is like only a percentage of what is actually going on. Our mind zooms into like 1% of what is actually happening around us based on what part of it we're focused on. And so you're not taking in 10,000 things around you. You're only taking in what you're focused on, right? So something can be happening behind you and you can be clueless because you're not focused on that. Your focus is on what you are dominantly looking at and perceiving in the moment. And this is how we get clarity. Because when we can step back and try to see as much of the picture as possible, we can gain more clarity on the situation. When we can see things from a perspective that is not just the 1% that we see. So choosing a different path. So by shifting what percentage of the perspective you're seeing, you can open yourself up to more options, more choices. A lot of the time, what I hear people say is, I feel stuck. I don't see any other option. I don't see any other choice. Well, like all those things, right? Because you're only focused on one thing, 1% of the actual truth of what is happening. So you feel back into a corner, you feel stuck in a situation. But when you learn the art of shifting perspective and understanding that nothing has a meaning until you give it to it, you can learn to shift and create the opportunities that you don't see, that you don't believe exist. And the only reason you don't believe they exist is because of something in your belief system. I hope this is helping you guys. Let's go to the next slide. So, the influence of your belief systems. We're going to talk about this in 3 different ways. We're going to talk about limiting beliefs. So let's start there. Limiting beliefs are they're beliefs that limit your potential. So they limit what is possible for you or your potential or your behavior in what you can do in life. So, for example, if you have a limiting belief, like you want your dream career, but you have a limiting belief of, I'll never be able to get the certification that I need to do it. You're limiting your perspective because you think that you need something to get the career that you want, that your skills are not enough, and that you can't achieve the skills needed to get the job. That's a limiting belief. If you have a belief that all my relationships never work out, that's a limiting belief. You're putting a limit on the possibility of your relationships. You're putting yourself in a box, essentially. You're putting yourself in a box and in a container and saying that this is all that is possible for me because of this situation. So there's a lot of things happening there. There's judgment of the situation, there's judgment of yourself, and then there's a finality of a door. And this is the thing that I want you guys to understand. Nothing is final until you decide it's final. You know, like nothing is done until you decide it's done. Like, so that decision lies in you. Now let's look at like expansive belief systems. So we want to create more expansive belief systems. And how do we develop these expansive belief systems? It goes with number 3 about the power of shifting your perspective. When you learn to shift the perspective of what you're experiencing, what you're hearing, what you're taking in, that 1% of what you're taking in, I'm going to see if I can, of what you're taking in, you are learning to create expansive belief systems. So I'm going to get this pen for a minute, and we're going to put a dot right here. See this dot that I'm drawing, guys, with this highlighter? I want you to see this. So this is you and the whole situation. It's the whole thing. Your perspective only sees that little bit of the dot. It can't see the other side unless you move it, right? So you can't, like, if you're standing from that angle of the dot, you can only see half of the dot. You can't see the whole thing. The point of shifting your perspective is having the ability to learn how to move your to move sorry guys to move your perspective to a different angle as needed of a situation. So you're moving yourself all the way around so you can see every angle of the dot. And I mean, you can't see every angle all at once. It's about holding different states of being, which you can go watch my video on states of being. And it depends on what state of being you're holding, what perspective you're going to be standing at. And it's even like a mirror. It depends on how you're standing, what your reflection is going to look like in the mirror. It's the same thing with like shifting your perspective. I hope this is helping you guys very much. I hope this is making sense to you. If you have questions or comments, you can leave them in the comments below on the video. But I wanted to give you the little idea of like how little of a piece of the circle you actually see in your perspective of things. So let's move on to the next slide. Unpacking some childhood programming. So identifying the childhood belief systems and the programming is so important to your healing. So you have to identify certain things, the childhood programming that you experienced. For me, one example is part of my childhood programming, because I was different, was being told that I was not good enough, that I was broken. And I was told this in multiple different ways, in multiple different circumstances throughout my childhood. And I grew up believing that because I was broken, I wasn't good enough. And I wasn't deserving. And I had to, and I didn't realize it till I was much older, and it made me like kind of hate myself. And I believe that, the reason why I tell my stories and my transformation is because I believe experience is the best teacher. And my breaking free of that was the realization that the fact that I exist, the fact that I get to get up today and I'm breathing is proof that I'm loved and that I'm enough, because it's proof from God that He loves me and that I'm enough. And that's the way that helped me to heal those wounds of what people said to me, and realizing that what they say does not matter. I give it neutrality. It does not impact me anymore because it's nothing. It means nothing. What other people say means nothing to me. The only thing that matters to me about me is what I say about myself and what I know God says about me, because my spirituality is important to me. My relationship with God is important to me. So that's how I've unpacked some of my childhood things. And I wanted to give you guys that as an example of, like, I really struggled with feeling not good enough, feeling broken, feeling like I didn't belong, right? And I was able to take that, understand that, release the emotions that came with those feelings, because there are emotions that come with those feelings. And then I was able to switch it and see it from a different perspective and realize that, the fact that I am here, the fact that I exist, the fact that I am breathing and alive shows me that actually I'm perfect the way I am, and I'm loved the way I am, and that, I'm here for a purpose. So, like, by shifting that, it freed me from those chains of not being enough, because I'm more than enough in everything that I do. And if anybody tells me any different, I just hold a space of neutrality for myself, because what they say does not matter to me. It has no weight on me. See, a lot of the times what we're doing is we're putting power in other people's um words, and we're putting power in other people's beliefs about who we are, instead of deciding for ourselves who we are, instead of empowering ourselves for who we're choosing to be and making the decision for ourselves. We're allowing other people's limiting beliefs to tell us who we are and how we have to show up. And that doesn't serve us. So by holding and creating this space of neutrality, we're not taking on the other person's trauma. We're not taking on the other person's limiting beliefs, because we're not giving it power. So I hope this is helping you. I hope this makes sense to you. Okay, so how do we start to step into our personal power? Self-reflection. Self-reflection is key to stepping into personal power by understanding, identifying what you want to shift within yourself. What is being reflected back to you? It's not just self-reflection, but it's like being aware and accountable of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Understanding that they don't control you and you are not your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, but you have to be aware and accountable, because you also have to know what stories you're telling yourself. So if you go back to my video about stories you're telling yourself, you can learn a little bit more about that. But then what we want to do is we want to cultivate a sense of self-worth. And I gave an example of how to do that in the last slide, when I was telling you that I, cultivated a sense of self-worth and self-acceptance by realizing that I'm perfectly imperfect just the way I am. And the way that I've proven that to myself is by acknowledging that, because I exist, that proves it. That's proof enough for me. Because I have breath in my lungs, that's proof enough for me that I am loved by God and loved by my creator and here for a reason. That and that works for me. For you guys, I want you to find something that works for you, whatever it may be. You know, you need to cultivate that self-worth and that self-love because it's so important. And then just like mindset shifting, like choosing to empower, like empower an empowered mindset instead of a victimhood mindset. And like I got really deep into this earlier this week and realized, you know, because I talk about appreciating your existence a lot because I think it's something that we take for granted. And I'll tell you guys another story of mine. I was having a really hard time a while back, and I just was really struggling, and I didn't know if I could do this anymore, and I didn't know if I wanted to live this life, and I was just really struggling, and I was meditating and praying and talking to God, and I heard Him say to me, Renee, you've seen everything that I have in store for you. You've seen all the things that I've promised you. And I know you have faith that they're going to happen, but how can I give them to you when you don't even appreciate your own existence? You don't appreciate the fact that you get to exist today. So when I had that download from God, I realized how much we don't even like we take for granted our existence in the day. We take for granted the breath in our lungs in the day. And it shifted my mind in such an impactful way. And what I also realized in talking to other people and things like that is like we're in two states of being. We're either in the state of being where we're a victim of our own existence, or we're victorious of our existence. So I want to be in the state of I'm victorious of my existence. I'm a gift to the world. I'm living my purpose. I'm living authentically to my essence of self, to my soul self, to my connection with God. And I'm being the best version of myself every single day. And I think it really takes discipline and understanding of yourself, learning and willingness to be honest and grow, to practice mindset shifting every day. Every day you have to mindset shift from being a victim of your existence or being a victorious of your existence. It's up to you. That's an internal choice. Nobody else can make that choice for you but you internally. And then if you say, well, my experiences make me, then you're becoming a victim of your experiences. So like everything is a choice. Everything is a decision you're continuously making. Fundamentally, what seeds are you planting in yourself? That's like the power of the renewing of the mind. And that's why mindset shifting is a part of that every day. I really hope this is helping you. If you found power in this video, please share, like, comment, and let me know. And like, tell me some of your thoughts as well. Okay, so making better decisions. We're gonna get clarity by becoming the observer, by being aware and being honest about what is happening. We're going to be objective, but I want you guys to be objective without being judgmental. Objective does not mean judgmental. It means see multiple things, see multiple sides, be objective to what's going on. Don't just automatically like put a meaning on something. Give it neutrality if you can. Make it mean nothing. and self-awareness. Like, we really have to be self-aware of what is this reflecting to me. Stop pointing outside of yourself. Stop looking outside of yourself and be like, what is this reflecting within me that I have to shift internally? Because that's so important. It's so important to be self-aware. It's literally what makes us human, but we don't use it enough. Okay, so we already talked about clarity. I want to talk about connecting with God. This is a very important thing. So you have to learn to empower your intuition, to develop your intuition, to empower that connection, to hear God's voice, because that's going to help you heal. That's going to help you be more self-aware. That's going to help you learn what is being reflected back to you. And it's going to empower your decision-making skills to make a better choice in your life, for a more aligned choice to every part of who you are, not just the human part of who you are, but the spiritual part of who you are, and all that stuff. So I want you guys to live more authentically to yourself and stop feeling like you have to do everything and be everything that everybody else said you are, because it's not true. And these things will help you to do that. And having that connection will be able to help you do that. So guys, we're gonna conclude on this video the power of neutrality. Understanding neutrality is a powerful concept that helps shape your perspective and empower us to make better decisions. And then belief system and childhood programming is what designs our perspective and influences our decisions. And it creates the lens in how we see life. Making better decisions is a natural positive thing for us. Allow us to make neutrality allows us to hone in on the power of decision making. So guys, if you really like this video, I would ask if you want additional support, you can sign up for a coaching subscription package. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we appreciate all the support. I'm glad you like this video, and I'm here for you. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye for now.